January 23, 2010 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 54-year-old Chen from Chishian Village, Banqiao Town, Baoshan City, Yunnan Province is playing with his 3-year-old granddaughter Xiaoling on the roadside at the entrance of the village. Because my granddaughter Xiaoling has been having a fever today. I just got the injection this morning. But still no improvement. So Lao Chin went to the house to get medicine for his granddaughter. I didn't expect that. When he returned to the intersection with the medicine, but found that my granddaughter Xiaoling was missing. How could it disappear in just these few minutes? Lao Chen immediately asked other villagers next to him. But after asking around, but no one knew that Lao Chen's neighbor was having a funeral that day. There are quite a lot of people coming and going. So it stands to reason. If Xiaoling passes nearby, someone will definitely see it. But everyone said they didn't see it. This does not make sense. Lao Chen guessed that his granddaughter might have gone to find other friends. So he immediately ran to other children's homes in the village to look for them one by one. But the granddaughter was not found. This gave old Chen an ominous premonition. So he immediately called other relatives and friends to search around the village. Until more than 3 hours later, a villager said, "I just saw a little girl in the toilet of Chin Debao's house. It seems to be Xiaoling." Heard the news. Lao Chen immediately came to the toilet of Chin Debao's house. Sure enough, I found Xiaoling lying diagonally under the toilet wall. But now his eyes were closed tightly. There are several big bags on the head. There are some bloodstains slowly flowing down from the top of the head. Looks like he's passed out. When Lao Chen saw this, he immediately called Yao Air Zero and found gauze to stop the bleeding of my granddaughter. But Lao Chen actually didn't think too much at this time. Because my granddaughter has been having a fever. I just got the injection this morning. So Lao Chen thought there might be something wrong with the injection he got in the morning. Caused granddaughter to fall into coma. Because my granddaughter is not very energetic today. As for the big bag and bloodstains on the head, maybe he hit the wall when he was unconscious. That's why the big bag was broken. Bled. Soon. The ambulance has arrived. But after a doctor's examination, it was discovered that Xiaoling had actually stopped breathing. Her cause of death was mechanical asphyxia. Was strangled to death. A strangulation mark was found on his neck. It's obviously a murder. Heard the news. Lao Chen was heartbroken and immediately called the police. At this time, he desperately wants to know who the murderer is. Why did you kill your little granddaughter? Someone said. Xiaoling was found in the toilet of Chin Debao's house. Then the murderer may be Chen Debao. But this possibility is actually very small. Because the toilet in Chin Debao's house is old-fashioned. A dry toilet was built on the house. Outside. Just on the side of the road. Anyone can enter. Besides, Chen Debao had been helping the villagers who were holding funerals that afternoon. Everyone can testify. So this matter should have nothing to do with Chen Debao. While everyone was having a tense discussion. While the police were investigating the scene. In just 1 hour. Another even more bizarre incident happened in Guli village next to Chishian village. A more horrific case. Around 7 o'clock in the evening. Zhang Huanqing, a villager in Guli village, only 3 kilometers away from Chishian village, spent a day working in the fields. He put away his tools. Slowly going home. On the way home, you will pass by a wheat field. When he came near the wheat field, I saw a man about 30 years old in the field. Sitting there very strangely, still holding something in his hand. When Zhang Huanqing gradually approached, I finally saw clearly that this man was sitting on a little boy. That little boy looks about 10 years old. He is lying flat on the ground. Eyes closed. There seems to be some blood on the corner of the mouth. At this time, the man was grabbing the little boy's neck with both hands. Shaking hard. The man also noticed Zhang Huanqing passing by. This made Zhang Huanqing feel a little nervous. He could only dare to ask. Explain. What are you doing? The man replied very calmly. Oops. My child fainted. I'll try to wake him up again. The man said, while shaking the child vigorously. At the same time, he called the child's name. In fact, Zhang Huanqing has already seen something wrong. The man almost sat on the boy's abdomen. Which father would dare to do this? And there was blood on the corner of the child's mouth. The man's actions are also very rough. This is not like treating your own children at all. Although I saw through the man's lies. But Zhang Huanqing knew very well that he was no match for the other party. So he could only smile at the man. Nod. Express belief. Then he left as if nothing happened. After. Zhang Huanqing quickly ran home. Tell the village elder Wang about this matter. And at this moment, another villager in the village also hurriedly found the village chief. Lao Wang said that he also saw the strange man. And this villager also said, I saw that man scalp the boy with my own eyes. As soon as this statement came out, shocked everyone. The village chief dare not neglect. Immediately called a few young and strong villagers to come to the wheat field together. But when they arrived, that man is gone. The village elder Wang once served as a soldier. He understands the importance of protecting the scene. So he asked other villagers to stand around and protect the scene. He picked up the flashlight. Carefully walked into the field. Soon, he found a blood-stained stone and a pair of small sandals next to a field ridge. He bent down to examine carefully. I found some bloody bone fragments on the ground nearby. Both the blood and the bones are fresh. See these things. Lao Wang immediately took out his mobile phone and dialed Yao Yao Ling. And leave the scene immediately. Wait for the police to arrive. 10 minutes later. The police rushed to the scene. After carefully examining the stone and the bone fragments. After listening to the descriptions of Zhang Huanqing and another villager, the police realized that the little boy was already in danger. These bloodstains and bones are probably that boy's. To find more traces, police dispatched dogs to assist in the search. Soon, with the help of police dogs, they found the body of a young boy in another field near the scene, along with a razor blade. The terrifying thing is that the little boy's skull is gone, from the eyebrows up, and the brain inside is also missing. Seeing this scene, even the well-informed policeman was completely stunned. This scene was too bloody. Needless to say, it must have been done by that man. Such cruel behavior is unbelievable. What's even more strange is, why did he want to hollow out this boy's brain? In order to solve this mystery, the police immediately launched an investigation on the scene and tried to find out the identity of the boy. Just at this moment, the radio from Qixian village next door rang. The radio is looking for a child named Xiao Tang. What happened was that because it was Saturday, 11-year-old Xiao Tang didn't have to go to school. He went out to play after lunch. Generally speaking, after playing all afternoon and having dinner in the evening, it's definitely time to come back. But after 7 o'clock in the evening, dinner was ready, but he did not come back. So, Xiao Tang's mother Yu Hui went to the home of Xiao Tang's good friend Xiao Yang to inquire. Xiao Yang said that he and Xiao Tang did play together all afternoon, but they separated around 6 o'clock, and he thought Xiao Tang had gone home for dinner. Then this is wrong. Although Xiao Tang loves to play, he has always been more obedient. His good friend Xiao Yang has gone home for dinner, so where else can he go? With doubts, Yu Hui went to the homes of several other friends of Xiao Tang to inquire, but there was still no result. During the search, he learned that Xiaoling, the granddaughter of Lao Qin in the village, had been killed. This made Yu Hui suddenly nervous, and an ominous premonition arose in her heart. So, he immediately found the village chief and asked for a broadcast on the village's loudspeaker to search for Xiao Tang. A murder had just occurred in this village, and now Xiao Tang was missing again. The village chief did not dare to neglect, and immediately came to the radio room and broadcast repeatedly to find Xiao Tang. As the radio continued to play, the news soon spread to Guoli village 3 kilometers away. It was already around 9 o'clock in the evening. In the wheat fields outside Guoli village, the police were conducting an orderly investigation of the scene and had discovered the boy's body. As for the boy's identity, the police initially asked Wang, the village elder of Guoli village, to identify him, but Wang looked at it for a long time and didn't recognize him. Some of the more courageous villagers stepped forward to check, but they all shook their heads to express that they did not recognize him. But at this time, someone said that there had been a radio broadcast in Qixian village next door, saying that an 11-year-old child was missing. Maybe this body was the missing child. Therefore, the village elder Wang called the village chief of Qixian village and asked roughly what the missing Xiao Tang looked like and what his characteristics were. After comparing it with the corpse at the scene, it seemed that there was indeed some similarity. After getting the news, the village chief of Qixian village immediately found Yu Hui and told her that Xiao Tang might be in Guoli village next door and asked her to go and have a look. When Yu Hui came to Guoli village out of breath, it was already 10 o'clock in the evening. She hurried to the scene, but was stopped by the police because the state of the body was so miserable that they couldn't bear it. Therefore, the police took out several photos of the corpse and asked Yu Hui to identify it. But even through the photo, the blood stains on the child's face and the smashed head are clearly visible. Yu Hui only took one look, then collapsed to the ground and started crying. This is indeed Xiao Tang. An autopsy confirmed that Xiao Tang died of suffocation. There was an obvious purple mark on his neck. It can be speculated that when villager Zhang Huanqing passed by, he saw the man strangling the boy's neck, and he was probably committing murder. But why did that man kill Xiao Tang? The police also conducted an investigation into Xiao Tang's family and found that they had always been honest and had no enemies. This is strange. In just a few hours, 2 murders occurred in 2 villages only 3 kilometers apart. The 2 victims were both children, and both died of suffocation. The target and method of committing the crime are so similar. Could the murderer of the 2 cases be the same person? But if it is the same person, what is his purpose? Why kill children? Why destroy Xiao Tang's head? Why wasn't Xiaoling's head damaged? A series of questions appeared in front of everyone. With doubts, the police continued to investigate the scene. Soon they discovered some white suspicious substance in the grass more than 70 meters away. These substances are white, soft, moist and fresh, and look like small lumps of tofu. But after testing, it was discovered that this thing was actually human brain tissue. In addition, what is even more terrifying is that the study found that these brain tissues should have been eaten and then spit out. This is quite scary. The skull of Xiao Tang who was killed happened to be smashed and his brain was dug out. Just now, the police were still thinking about why the criminal dug out the brains of the deceased. Now it seems that he probably ate the brains. How perverted does a person have to be to kill and eat a child's brain? In order to uncover this perverted killer, the police first questioned Zhang Huanqing, the witness that night, and another villager. The 2 men's descriptions of the man were basically the same. This man is relatively short, very thin, with very dark skin, and his eyes are very small and deeply sunk in the eye sockets. But they all said they didn't know this person. However, this person's accent is a local accent, so even if this person is not from this village, he should be from surrounding areas. After hearing this description, the village elder Wang of Guoli village thought of a few people who met the conditions.